Okay, we're holding Mishna Berura. Hey. Okay, we spoke about you start with candles on the right. The first night you light that candle. Subsequent nights you add, and you always light from left to right. Banera Yosi Shmini Yamini. Yaschil Vivorch ala Nosef. And which candle do you say the bracha on? On the Nosef, the additional candle. Vein Chiluk, Vein Shemniach Miyimina Pesach, Vein Shemniach Mismola Pesach. Doesn't make a difference where you put the menorah. Let's say you have a windowsill. You put the menorah on the right side of the window, the left side of the window, it doesn't make a difference. The candle always goes on the right side of where you're lighting. Tomid Yasla Brocha Benera Nosef. Whichever candle is added the subsequent nights, that's the candle you light. First, after you say the Brocha. Shomrim de Munach Mimina Pesach. Az Yitzorch Laschil Tomid Benera Yamin. Shusomach La Pesach. V'holech miyomin l'smol. You hear this? He says, if the others say that if the menorah is situated on the right side of the entrance, then you always start lighting from the right side. V'meniach haneres b'smol ha'pesach. Tzorech la'adlik gam kein tomid tchila haner ha'somach l'pesach. V'holech u'madlik b'smol yamin. Meaning, if it's in the Pesach, it's different than if it's in your window. U'd'ovid kamar ovid v'ovid kamar ovid. Whichever position you assume, it's fine. Same thing. Well, where do you put the box? The Yemina Pesach, it's facing the house. Seemingly. No, which means you put the menorah out by the front door. So when you light, do you light facing the house or you light facing outside? We light facing outside, looking outside. So now he's asking, when you light facing the Pesach, do you light looking outside or looking towards the house? Right? Well, if the menorah is Lemina Pesach, so he says you light to the right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Umatov v'nochad im yochel esad kulam so chalal haPesach shiu kulam shovim betevach somach lePesach ochin yizor shlo yiftach haPesach besh chatzi shor shaner is dolkin shlo yichabim haruach. Says if you light in the Pesach, you have to be careful when you open the door. You shouldn't cause the wind to blow out the candles. Ayim ashkos avn be'arlocha das taz binyan zeh. Okay, lahaflosh yimin. Why do you light each additional candle? Then you go towards the right. Whenever we do a mitzvah, we always go in a direction going to the right. No, towards the right. Right? We light from left to right. From left to right. As he said, that's what Mechaber says. Mechaber says because that to magnify the miracle, because it's always the additional candle.
Right, but so in any other mitzvah like when we do anything else, we start with the
Because it starts and ends with that, and there's no other aspect of the mitzvah other than the right.
There was another aspect.
So that's an overriding factor. Okay. First night, the most right candle you light. You always start with the additional candle that you added. Sheyifka botchilo. Yeah, now he's saying something interesting. Okay, this is important. When you start, let's say you have the menorah in front of you. Let's say the person, he puts the candles in, and when he's about to light, he's about to do the mitzvah, where does he stand? Does he stand closer to the candle that's all the way to the right, or should he situate himself towards the left? When he says the bracha, he should be standing to the left. Because if he's standing to the right, it means he has to pass over the candles, which are more to the right, to light the candle on the left. So that's the principle of what? That if you're able to perform a mitzvah sooner and you pass over that to do it the same mitzvah at another location, that's called Ein Mavrin Al Mitzvos. We don't pass a mitzvah. We discussed the case regarding cutting the lechem mishnah, right? If you're able to cut the challah that's closer to you, you don't cut the challah which is further away from you. The Gemara says, why do you put on the shel yad before the shel rosh? Because the hand is closer to you than your head. The head is above. But in terms of your hand, therefore, that's one of the reasons you put on the shel yad before you put on the shel rosh. Besides, the order in the pasuk says, Ukshatum lo sayodecha. The two reasons given in the Gemara why the shel yad precedes the shel rosh. You always put on the yad first. You mean the shel rosh? No, you don't. No, it's a good point. The halach is in Shulchan Aruch, if mistakenly you take out the shel yad rosh, you're supposed to cover it with the bag and then put on the shel yad, right? So why? What's the reason? Because there are two reasons. Because it says in the pasuk shatum lo seyodecha. But if not for that, you would put on the shel rosh first. But since the pasuk says the order should be the hand before the head, that's the reason why you cover it, then you put on the shel yad first. Ein Mavrin Al Mitzvos. Your hand is right here. Here you have to lift your hand. You put on, it says ukshartem. You're tying it. So in terms of closeness, your hand is closer to your hand than to your head. When you have to lift, the other it's just alongside you. Okay? He says when you start lighting, you should stand to the left side of the menorah, rather close to the right. So your right hand is right by the candle that you're about to light. Okay? Dasi shomim menal gam ze yivorch tomer al ner rishon shu ikar mitzvah near the b'ze yamid haner rishon l'tzad small v'akach b'chol layla mosef holech tzad yamin loki yatomid b'ner sheomid tzad small. Okay, so over here. Okay, we'll do the next halacha. Din ach snoi b'Chanukah. Let's say you're a guest. Right? You're a boarder. You're elsewhere. And they're not lighting for you at your home. This is similar to Ner Shabbos. It's somebody's house for Shabbos. So each person has an obligation to light Shabbos candles. And you're not part of the household. Right? If you're part of the household, the candles that are being lit in the house is on behalf of everyone. Correct? So if children come home to visit, they don't have to light their own candles. If you marry, your wife usually lights on your bed. Let's say you're yourself. Your wife is home and you're at your parents'. Do you light? You don't light your own Shabbos candles. Why? Because you're part of the family. That's considered part of the family. But let's say you have a guest over. The guest has an obligation to light because he's not part of the household. That's called achsanoi. So what does he do? The halacha is he's supposed to contribute to the cost of the candles. So he has a share. So when whoever lights, they're lighting his candle. Okay? That's the halacha. It's Gemara Shabbos. So similarly with Ner Chanukah, you're what? You're at someone else's house, and they're not lighting. So you're not yotzei in your own home at all. And so therefore, there's not even the question. You have an obligation to participate to some degree. So what do? You give minimally a pruta to the head of the household to have a partnership with him in the oil. So when he lights, he's lighting your oil. Okay? I mean, you could have something else. What about if he'll provide you with your own candles? Then it's definitely not a problem. But here it's speaking where he's not providing with your own candles. V'miyeshlo pesach pasuach. La'atzmo. Let's say he's a boarder or a guest and he has his own entranceway. Right? Interesting. Let's say a person has a guest, and for his own privacy, he has a guest apartment. And he's staying in his own apartment, but he's a guest. He lights because since he has a separate identity, he's not together with the family, so then he has to light separately. because since there is a resident there, even though a temporary resident, he has to light. Alpi shows bias einem yuchod el l'sheino. Although he's only sleeping there, he's going to be eating with the family on Shabbos. Who ochel al shulchan balabayis, and this is very common. Person has a house, he has a downstairs apartment for the people's privacy. He gives them the downstairs apartment. So there they shall light, and right, he has an obligation to light separately. Well, vuadin leben ochel etzeloviv.
Still get to the house, right?
Who?
That is separate, like.
No, it's a separate apartment. No, because it's seen as a separate location. The people know whether he's eating there or not eating with you. It's irrelevant. They don't know whether you're eating. It's a separate apartment, so it's like a person has his own residence. Person passes by, you have an obligation to identify the location within this. Others say that today, since we're lighting the main pirsum nisis for the people inside the house, you should light where we eat. Moksha ochel, no, that's the meaning, and that's the way most people do it. Let's see, people are in the yeshiva. In yeshiva, you have a dormitory, you have a dining room. What do you light? You don't light in your dormitory room. You light in the dining room. You light where you eat. So the same thing. So if you have a guest in the house, although he has a separate apartment or whatever it may be, since he's eating together with the family, that's where he's eating, that's where you light. Because you're a partner. You're a partner in the lighting. We're speaking, we're not doing mahadran. You need ner echod for the bias. If you hadlokos a mitzvah, yes, a hadloka. The person lighting, he's lighting my candle. That's sufficient.
This is the same thing as someone's in a hotel that's supposed to run in a hotel.
No, this comes up. This comes up. Let's say you're lighting. You're in Shabbos Sheva Brachos on Chanukah, right? And you're all eating together in a dining room or an area wherever you're all going to eat together. Do you light in your hotel in the room? Do you light in the dining room? Right. The minhag is where were you all together? We're all together in the dining room. So you light your Chanukah lights in the dining room, not in the window in the hotel room.
But if someone's in a hotel and it's not that type of format, so he's traveling, they light in a hotel.
But you better stay there till the candles, otherwise it's a problem. Just a safety issue. You can't just leave candles burning in a hotel room. That I mentioned the other day. To light it, then put it out immediately, it's the wrong thing. You shouldn't do that. So if you stay there for the half an hour till they go, that's fine. Otherwise, it's not simple how to do it. You can't light in your hotel room. What? Does not be on the window.
Because, in some of the hotel rooms, where they do them now, is a kitchenette in the hotel room. So what I've done is I've lit them in the sink.
Right.
So I don't have to worry about the sink.
Yeah, definitely.
That's okay.
It's okay because anyway, the window it's above 20 amos usually.
No one's
So
seen the screen.
we put it in the window. It's really, we're doing something which really doesn't even have a basis in halacha. We're displaying it, but factually the way we're displaying it, it's above 20 amos. So it doesn't have any relevance to any halacha criteria, right? So the reason why you say, because we say it's no worse than lighting it on your table. So if it's no worse than lighting it on the table, you could actually put it in the sink. As long as you're able to see it, it's fine. It's a location where you could see it. That's sufficient. You don't need more than that. Right, correct. So people, just good advice. First, has to light a yahrzeit candle. One candle. Only if somebody's living there. If there's no resident, you have no obligation. Because it has a mezuzah. That's a different halacha. It's different halacha. Because it's mezuzah. You should have that. You have to have mezuzah. Mezuzah's beisecha. What did you bring mezuzah? Mezuzah has nothing to do with this. No, because the Torah says each house has to have a representation of the miracle. So the house does. You have one candle in the window. Each individual has to partake. No, that it says it's you have to. No, it's per household, but anybody could join. But there's an obligation. Each person has to partake of the Korban Pesach. Each person has to eat a kazayis.
No, I understand, but
Household doesn't mean necessarily you have to be part of the family. It doesn't have to be part of the family. Because Torah says that anybody could join.
so the same thing with the
No. The household has to have one candle. The household. And if you're not part of the household, then you have to participate financially. No. Each person, and in addition, each person has to eat a kazais of that goat.
One candle, one goat.
No. And the household eats 20 goats because it's a big household. You get 20 goats, so 20 sheep.
One is enough.
Why shouldn't it be enough? The determining fact is that there should be enough, there should be a kazais per person. That's how it's determined. Hadlokas Neros, Neros Shabbos. Neros Yom Tiv too. Because, sure, it's a mitzvah to light it. Hadlokos a mitzvah, same thing. We rule Shabbos as also Hadlokos a mitzvah like Hanukkah. Yeah. She doesn't have to have one. You and your wife are the same, and the children, same thing. We just say that is, since everybody eats on the same table, you're part of the same family, it's lighting for the family. No difference. That's only because it's preferred the man should, but if the woman lights it, it's the same thing. Because the woman and the man are the same thing. That's what I was going to say. Okay. I was just going to mention, safety-wise, speaking about lighting in the sink, a yahrzeit candle. It's not simple. One time, the glass could burst. So, people, they leave it burn, you won't leave the house. So, if you have, let's say, a stone counter, and let's say you have an island where it's not any way near anything else, it's semi-safe. But the safest thing is really to take a bowl, like a ceramic bowl, put it in the bowl, and light it in a location which is far away from anything. So even if something should happen, it break in the bowl. But to leave it anywhere else, you're taking a chance. Okay. Yeah. Well, yahrzeit depends how many yahrzeit. If you have a number of yahrzeits, you need a little foil pan. Okay, that's the way it's done for safety reasons. To be continued. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. The doctor felt it was a miracle. Everything worked out perfectly. Baruch Hashem. Should continue. He'll be back in about a week, a little over a week. 4 days. He's right near where you are. He's in Hackensack. Yeah. No, Hackensack. No, Hackensack, for whatever reason, I don't know. I think the neurologist who lives in Englewood, he's affiliated with Hackensack. Everything, they had to remove certain things. Blood had to be taken off. It was dry blood, different, and it just came right out. Sometimes you can't play with the brain, but it just peeled right off, and they were able to take out. Okay.